Hey everyone, welcome back to the Creator Driven Community. I'm Mark Builds It, and today we're going to get into what is Web 2. So, you may have been wondering, we're on Web 3, what happened to Web 2? Well, Web 2 is still hanging around. Web 2 is what most of us are familiar with right now. This started in the early 2000s and it is running through today. It'll probably still be going strong for a little while longer until the concepts of Web 3 really kick in. And I think that the big dominating players of Web 2 aren't going to go down without a fight because they've got a ton of money to spend. And the sad thing is, it should be your money. So Web 2 was when the read and write phase of the internet started. That's when the users started generating their own content and putting it online. But the infrastructure wasn't really there or easy to do for people to do on their own. So these aggregators rose up, and we're talking about YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and a lot of predecessors, but those are the ones that are still around today. What those people did was generate a network effect, and the more people used their products, the harder it was to leave. And the thing is that everything you put on their servers, they owned, and you couldn't take it with you. You couldn't. Even if you owned the content, you couldn't take the people who were following it unless you manually went out and grabbed those people and brought them with you. So how did a creator change their business model between Web 1 and Web 2? And the sad fact is it didn't change a whole lot. Still, most of the money that a creator could earn was generated by selling ads, either building an enormous audience and then selling the audience's attention, or doing deals and product placements. If you were a more savvy creator, you could create your own independent site and you could sell ads on that site directly. So that's how a lot of people made money off of sort of the WordPress sites, the blogging sites. But most of us put our data on a social network and did whatever we could to generate some revenue from that. So here you have in this category of monetization, you had sites like YouTube, which is probably one of the more generous sites. They share 50% of their ad revenues with their creators. But then you got on the other end of the spectrum, companies like Facebook and Instagram, which have never paid their creators. And they are making an effort to come around, but the vast majority of people on those platforms will never really make any money from the content that they put on there and the audience they build. And at a higher level, you've got sites like streaming sites like Netflix, and those companies are selling subscriptions for content. But with people like Netflix and Spotify, the amount of money that a creator sees after everybody gets paid that trickles down to the creator is really a very small percentage. The one bright spot we saw with Web 2 is the creation of sites where people could gate their content and create things like courses and private streams. And that was the beginning of people taking charge of their content, paying for software stacks that they could use independently to generate revenue. And that is, I think, what is, those are the people who are going to adopt the Web3 model the fastest. I do have one resource for you today. It's called juniorvc.com. It's something that I found through another, organization that I work with. And they have these great little comic book style lessons, and it's one little cartoon hamster talking to another, asking questions, answering questions. So if you're more of a visual learner, or you like a little bit more lighthearted approach to your learning, I highly recommend juniorvc.com. All these links will be on my website. So if you're listening to this and you're not watching, you want to know what we're looking at, jump on over to creatordriven.xyz. And with each show, I'll have the links all there for you to go visit the sites. And as we get further into this, there will be a lot more links. Tomorrow, we're going to get to the final question, which is, what is Web 3?